Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Just give us 2 seconds, 2 minutes, sorry, for Facebook to be able to make this video visible to everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, I'm just going to share this on your page.
Okay, great.
1 second. Oh no, I think you have some security on your page. So what I'm going to do is I will share it on my personal page, and then you can put it on your page.
Okay. No, share it, and I will allow it if that's what it is, or
No, you have to manually do it. It's not letting me. So I just
that's
grab
fine.
this, yeah, please. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Um, this is the Civilized Presence. Welcome, and let me know if you can see this video. Good morning. Hello, Morel. Thank you so much for being here, my friend from London, UK. It's so good to have you in the house. I am just trying to share this video to a lot more people. Buki, are you able to put it on your page, please?
All right, then I'll do that immediately.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. So, yes, absolutely. Morel, it's so good to have you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, perfect. Good morning, Dee. Thank you so much for joining. From Virginia, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. And if you can hear me loud and clear, please just let me know by giving us some hearts, and let me know that you can see us and you can hear us. That is very important to us. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Um, yes, I'm just going to share this in one more place, and we should get this started right away. Thank you, Morel. Thank you. Hmm. Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you tag me?
Yes, we do have people and they can hear us. So do you have it on
Okay.
your
Did
page?
you tag me on?
You might just have to pick it up from my personal page and post it on your page because you have some
Right.
privacy setting, and I'm not able to put it over there. Um, yes, 1 second, and we want to have a lot more people. Yes, and what we're about to do. So, guys, I am so excited. I'm just going to get this started. Good morning and welcome to the Civilized Presence. It's such an honor to have you all here in the house. And I can see I got some people hitting me up already in my inbox. So it looks like Saturday is a good day. I think we have some feedback coming from you, Buki, maybe on the
Do
second
we?
system. Yes.
Okay. Well, there's no other system on that I can. It's just my. Well,
Okay. I'm not sure. Sometimes that happens. Hello, Ladonia. Thank you for being here. It's so good to have you, sis. Yes, we're having some feedbacks. I'm not sure what that is. Well, welcome to the Civilized Presence, guys. If you are here for the very first time, you are in the right place at the right time. And we are celebrating. It is a session number 56, 56. We started in the month of April, April 26th, and trust me, we've been paddling this along. Can you imagine? We're right here at session number 56. Yes, thank you so much, Ladonia. Thank you. I'm not sure why we're getting some feedbacks. Ladies, if you're getting some feedbacks, please let me know so that we can move things around. This session is for you, and I want to be sure that you are happy. In the meantime, please take a moment to share this video on your page for us. Share it to your friends and family. Invite all the young people. We are working with the young people and families today. So wake them up. And that's why this session is at 12 p.m. because I know that our young people sometimes want to sleep longer on a Saturday morning. So we try to make it at noon so that there's no excuse that Louisa, I was so tired partying yesterday and I couldn't be on the session. So please share this on your page. It is clear now. Thank you, LaJoya. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure what was happening. So yes, we are here and we are excited. Usually we're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern time. But today is such a special session, like I said, and that's why we had it on Saturday at 12 noon, just so that we can connect with the right audience for this session. And some of you might have seen the post or the flyer, but if you haven't, that's fine. We're going to talk about it in a moment. So first, let me introduce myself. This is your girl, Louisa Akaiso. So we're all girls today because we're working with young people. And I am a certified master civility trainer. Look, he's laughing. A golden rule civility statesman and a leadership expert. And if you want to know what I do, I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And yes, I work with young people too. So you are in the right place. If you're a young person and you're just jumping on it, and even if you're just as young as I am, it doesn't matter. Just we are all girls today. And this is why I had the cool glasses this morning, because the young people love everything cool. So I thought, you know what, if this session is going to be for them, I have to try and look as cool as they do. So now just kind of share some love and like this video and give us some hearts. We really need that because Facebook wants to see that we're very busy and we love the contents that we're sharing. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to bring a lot more people and help Facebook to make this video visible and accessible to a lot more people around the world. And this is a message that everyone needs. So just do us that favor to just put it on your page, guys. Hello, Coco. Yes, from Virginia. It's so good to have you in the house. So the main goal of this Facebook series is really to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversation. Hello, Dr. Martha. It's so good to have you. Hello, it's so good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining us this morning in this civility party. So what we do here every Mondays and Fridays is really kind of helping to break it down and teach you tiny steps or bits on how to become civil. Just show you how easy it is. And of course, it is very important. And you can begin with little things like saying please and thank you. So that's okay. If you've never been civil before, you're in the right place. And right after the session, try to smile to someone, even share a compliment, just like I'm going to do now to Bukky and say, Bukky, you look amazing this morning, Bukky. Thank you for being here.
You look wonderful as well. I'm loving the goggles, actually.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, it takes a lot of energy to be cool because I think it takes so much. It's really about stepping out of your comfort zone, but it kind of feels good after a few minutes. And I'm thinking, is this how the young people feel? Oh my goodness, it's just great to be cool sometimes. Now, so I'm going to share with you the definition of civility, and I'm choosing the one from Civility Experts Worldwide, which I'm affiliated with, that civility is a conscious awareness of the impact of one's thoughts, actions, words, and intentions on others, combined with a continuous acknowledgement of one's responsibility to ease the experience of others. Example through restraint, kindness, non-judgment, respect, and courtesy, and the consistent effort to adopt and exhibit civil behavior as a non-negotiable point of one's character. And guys, I know that you're saying, you know what, Louisa, this is a mouthful. That's okay, and I understand that. But something that I want you to take away from this session is that civility is focused on positive people's treatment. You know, I don't know if you feel the same way, Bukky, but sometimes when I read the definition of civility, for me, it's kind of like the moment of truth. I kind of feel like I'm in the church and I'm saying, "Oh my God, I'm ready to give my life back." It kind of checks you on what are those things that are off, in your life, those things that you've been doing that have not been civil and when you've not been treating people the right way. So I think it's just a great way to remind all of us that we don't have any hiding spots, no gray zones here. It's either black or white. Hello, Jeever. Thank you so much for joining us from Malaysia. It's so good to have you in the house. Hello, Charles from Ghana. Thank you so much. Hello, Susan. Thank you so much. Hello, Izzy. Thank you. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you so much. Hello, Odugain. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Saza. I hope it's Sazer, but thank you for being here. If I pronounce your name in the wrong way, I really apologize. But what's important is that I love you very much. And thank you for making our time to be here. Now I can see some other people who are jumping on board. I might not have called your name because you're not on my personal page. Now, what you have to do, because I want to recognize you as a VIP that you are, jump on my business page and just follow me on my business page. It's So Unique Experts. Try to become my friend on Facebook. It's Louisa Akaiso. And I would love to just kind of accept you and announce your name and just treat you special because you are. But thank you for being here. So back to our conversation. So civility is focused on positive people's treatment, learning to pay attention to the person next to you, or even to apologize honestly. And guys, I am so excited this morning because I am working with a colleague of mine, a fellow master civility trainer, all the way from London, UK. Woo-hoo! So I am excited to have Bukky here in the house again. She is a returning guest of ours. So she's not a guest anymore. She's a member of the house. She's just back here to visit us here in Virginia and just kind of share the great knowledge that she has with us. So for some of us who have seen the flyer, that's good. But if you haven't, October is the Civility in Higher Education Awareness Month. As we all know, a lot of our young people have grown up in environments where civility has been on its decline. And this is why we had to set up time to honor and work with our young people in those schools, in colleges and universities. So if you have any of them around you, please wake them up. It is 12 noon Eastern time. Wake them up to be part of this session. There's going to be some great nuggets that we're going to be sharing this morning. So some of you have never ever met Bukky before, so I will introduce her again. She is a master civility trainer, and she is also the CEO of Civility Experts London, UK, and Grace Etiquette Academy. Okay, and so Bukky, it's so great to have you. Can you take a moment to just say hello to our audience?
Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to be here once again. Thank you so much, Louisa, for having me again. Like you said, I'm no longer a guest. I'm a member of the household. So yes, it's so wonderful to be here, and I'm really excited. Guess what? I'm excited when it comes to civility. Anything civility? Whoop, whoop. So
Let's
great to talk about the youth today. So I'm really excited, and I really love to connect with you all and hear from you. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, we're going to get this party started. Thank you. Dr. Martha says civility is a continuous learning process of how to relate to other people. I love that. Yes, continuous learning. So you're not going to be civil today and not be civil tomorrow, guys. And it's not something you do only on Christmas Day or on Valentine's Day when you're trying to share love. Because it looks like people think that we should love only on February 14th. Guys, so I am here to bust your bubbles that you have to love every single day. Every single day of the year, learn how to sprinkle love and kindness. And that's what we do here every Mondays and Fridays. So back to the show. And that's another expert from Golden Rule Civility, Dr. Martha. It's so great to have you in the house. Thank you, Ladoya. That's another great expert too from Golden Rule Civility. It's so good to have all of you. Yes, I'm so pumped up. Okay, so Bukky, like you already know, how it runs is really to start up with questions and we begin the conversation. So my first question to you, Bukky, would be, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Bukky.
Thank you so much, Louisa. As far as I'm concerned, Civility for me is your everyday life. Civility is who you are. You can't run away from civility. Civility is just an expression and an extension of who God is to us and who He truly wants us to be to the world. Civility is love, and you cannot do anything in the world without loving other people, because that's actually what motivates you to want to do and give and keep giving, whether or not you're getting anything in return. So for me, civility is just, the outpouring of the love you have towards, for yourself, first of all, and then extending it to other people around you, to ensure that they're in a good place and they're constantly feeling the vibes that you've got, which is a good one, definitely. And so, yes, that's what civility is for me. It's a way of life. And like what Louisa said earlier, there's just no way you can embrace civility and it's not seen in you and through you. It's a reflection of who you are. And it's a daily, conscious, committed effort, to being a better person than you were yesterday.
Thank you so much, Bukky. So I love that. And somebody please put that in the comment box. Daily conscious committed effort. I think that's such a great definition of civility. And thank you for breaking that down. We have seen this, and what Dr. Marco says, that there is no end to how much love we can share. So do not try to share love and expect something in return. Do it because people are human. They deserve the love that you share. Okay? And it begins with you. Just like Lisa said, it begins with you. If you do not have it, you cannot give it to somebody else. So I don't know why we're having the feedback today. So we're just going to have fun with this. Yeah. So welcome. I can see some more people joining us. Welcome, Marcia, Brandon. Thank you so much for being here in the house. This is the Civilized Presence. If you've never been here before, welcome, and we love you. And we were just talking about what civility is, and maybe you might have to go back to the start of this video, and I'll make it available in replay. So thank you. So, Bukky, we have another question for you. Now, based on the topic of today, which is these strategies that helps correct the incivility and create better graduates to the workforce. Now, the first question would be, what constitutes civil behavior in higher education, and how can we contribute to a general sense of civility in our college and university campuses? Over to you, Bukky.
Thank you once again, Louisa, for that question. Yes, civility in the higher education system is very, very important. First of all, we have to understand that these are people who are getting ready to go out into the world, and of course I'm sure for most of us who are online today, you would agree with me that civil behavior is at a great decline in the present world that we live in now. And so that's been a lot of concern for us. And I would say to you that most of the problems we have, or would I say challenges that we have in the world today, all stem from lack of civility. So it's so important to understand, first of all, that the people we're dealing with are people we're preparing to go out to the world. And it's important that, it's like somebody who's going out to war. You need to go out to war with the right tools in your hands. Otherwise, you've already been defeated before starting the war. And so the most important thing about civility as far as the higher institution or the higher education is concerned is that we need to equip these people, these young people, with what they require to be able to go out into the world and excel and be confident and just be themselves and be on top of their game, whatever the case may be, and be ready for the world. So it's so important that, in schools, we try to introduce civility as a cost, if possible. I think if the school or the higher institutions start to embrace introducing civility as a core subject, that people are actually learning in school, it will be really great. There's something that came out from Harvard University that says 80% of our success in later life is dependent on our soft skills. And civility actually talks about, it deals a lot with our soft skills more than what we most probably think is important, which is, of course, going to school to learn the core subjects. But if we go to school to learn about civility as well, I think it's going to equip them and get them ready for the world, learning about people treatment, because like what Louisa said earlier, civility is understanding how to treat one another. It's people treatment, it's compassion. It has so much that it embodies. It's being able to identify who people are and being able to relate to them that way. Is about the golden rule, do unto others what you want them to do unto you. And so when people are not equipped for the world out there, then you're going to go out and just dish out the same old that we already have there. And we're going to keep recycling the same system. So I think it's so important that our schools begin to embrace civility now and start to teach, the younger ones, our youths, how to behave and obviously relate to other people.
Thank you so much, Joy, for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, T, for joining us. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. Thank you. So, guys, we just have to go back to the deal of the day because we have so much to share with you now. So if I haven't called your name, I'm going to try to do that at the end of the session. But, we're growing. So I just want to say that I love everyone so much because we might not have a chance to bring you up, especially if you joined us a little bit later. Okay, so Bukky, thank you so much for that. Now, going back to the topic of today, or the post of today's session, what would be the 3 C's strategies that helps to correct all of this incivility and create better graduates? Because as we know, when the students leave the higher education, they're heading for the workforce. And there's already so much incivility in the workforce. It's already a toxic environment. So we don't want to take toxic to toxic. How can we correct this? What are the 3 steps that is going to help to measure and just control or manage things and make things better as the children graduate and move on to the workforce? Over to you, Bukky.
All right. So what sort of basic steps do we need to take to enhance or a respectful environment? I think we need to start, like I said, we need to get the institutions engaging with civility as a core subject in our schools, which is really, really important. We need to teach our young people the importance of respect in the society. The other day I share this very quickly before I go on. The other day I was speaking to a young, a gentleman, one of our youths, and he said to me, I need to do certain things to let people understand and respect me. And I said to him, I think this is where we all get it wrong, isn't it? Because the world has told us that we need to do things to enable others respect us, because we're doing things in order to be respected. You're not even doing things anymore for the right reasons, because he said to me, I need to earn their respect. And so once I've done so and so, then they would be able to respect me. And then I had to sit him down. I said to him, do you know what? People ought to respect you in spite of what you do, who you are, your race, your color, your religion. It doesn't matter. Because what God has created us to be is somebody, a human being that needs to be respected, appreciated. I mean, for crying out loud, we can't create a human being. I've never seen anybody do that before. And so we need to appreciate the work of God, in each one and understand that, yes, though we may differ, we are one. We are the same before God, And that's my belief, So it's so important that we let them realize that respect is not about you trying to make others, respect you, whether forcefully or maybe through your actions or your achievements. Those are bonuses. And I said to him, if you achieve something today and you become someone today, I tell you what, I will be proud of you. But it doesn't change the level of respect I have for you, because I respect you even if you don't amount to anything eventually, because that's not what should, cause me to respect you in the first place. So I think we mix respect, with achievements. And it's not necessarily, you can congratulate people, you can be proud of them, you can sing their praises, you can let them know that, yes, you really do appreciate how far they've gone in life and what they've achieved. But guess what? That shouldn't be your basis for the respect, because whether they're young or old, every human being deserves your respect. So it's so important that, first of all, you let them understand that the respect that they need to give to other people or that they need to take out there has got nothing to do with achievement or how far they've been able to go in life.
Thank you so much, Bukky. And for those of you who are just joining us, welcome. This is a Civilized Presence. You're in the right place, okay? Just grab your pen and paper if you haven't had one, and get a glass of drink, a cup of coffee, like I'm having one right now, because we have Bukky in the house all the way from London, UK. And when Bukky is in the house, you're sure to have some great nuggets. So you don't want to miss it. I'm going to go back and watch this video. So for those of you who are here, thank you and welcome. I really appreciate you. Hello, James from Virginia. It's so good to have you in the house. Thank you. I see that we're all very civil here. For those of us who have been here for quite a bit. Hello, Shiyamo. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm so sorry if I do not pronounce your name right. Please, guys, forgive me, because I know that we have a global audience, and that's why I just love you all. What better place could I have been on a Saturday afternoon when it is raining outside? Of course, it's to be with you. I'm having a great time. So thank you for being here. So if I don't get your name right, I still love you very much. So forgive me. We are in the Civilized Presence, and we are just paddling this on. And thank you, Bukky. I have another question for you. So I was just talking about how, of course, we've been able to break things down on all of the incivility that's happening, not just in the school system, but of course around us. And what I understand from here is that we need all of the stakeholders in place, guys. This is not the work of the teacher alone. A lot of us just go and drop the kids and believe that they should come back as a changed person. You have some work to do as a parent. I know you don't want to hear that, but you do. So we're all going to have to work together in the area of respect. They have to begin from home. It is difficult if they've never respected you as a parent to go and do that to the teacher or their instructor or their professor. So do us some help by trying to build that environment at home and be able to show great examples to them so that they can pass it on to the professors in school and people that they're working with or their friends and colleagues in school. So I would really encourage all of us to put in more effort. If you have never done this before, please try. Yes, Dr. Martha says teachers need support to teach their students. That's correct. And the support also has to come with the families. Support also have to come with the environment. Sometimes it bothers me. You kind of have older people trying to do the wrong thing or maybe cursing out their heart. And then they see a younger one that said, oh, I shouldn't have said that. So you knew it was wrong. Why did you even bother to do that? So these are things that are not going to be easy, but these are intentional steps that we should take. And that's why we hang out here every Mondays and Fridays in the Civilized Presence, just to kind of nudge you in the back and say, I understand what's going on with you. I understand, guys. We're working with you, but we can make a difference together. And it begins with us. Let's try to make the change and then pass on this change to other people. So thank you so much. So back to the deal of the day, Bukky, thank you so much for being here. I really want to learn, and I want you to share this with our audience about the strategies, steps that they can take away. And that's something that we always do when we come to the session, is that we give people something to take back. So can you give us those strategies, because I'm eager to learn the strategies myself, to correct, that was going to help to correct this incivility and create better children, better students, better graduates, so that when they get to the workplace, it's not just that we're dumping on garbage and onto garbage. Okay, so please, what are those steps that you think we can take, that is going to be helpful? Over to you, Bukky.
All right, thank you so much, Louisa. I mean, like I said earlier when we started, civility is something that we all need to engage in. And there's no way you'll be civil that people cannot see that through you. You know, civility is like perfume. You know, if you step into the room, you can actually smell it. You know, you can perceive it. You can't walk away from a place and people would not realize that there's something different about you. And thank you so much for what you said as well, Louisa. Civility is not something that needs to be done alone. Like I say to people, even the world was not created to be lived alone. You know, so it's so important. There's an adage back home where I come from originally, where it says that it takes a community to train up a child. And you know what they're saying in essence is that we all need to be involved. You know, most of the time people leave the work to the teachers. I know the parents are quite busy because you've got to make the money. The children need all these things. I mean, well, these children these days, they love looking good. You know, I mean, Louisa had to get these glasses just to make sure that she can relate to them and connect to them on that level. So we do know that our children are quite demanding, especially when it comes to you know, their needs and all, which I'm sure we were as well at some point. But you only realize that when you become a parent that you were quite demanding growing up as well. So yes, we need to get these things out to them, but we need to understand as well that certain things are so important in the life of a child. And so being there with them and for them is so key. You know, it's so key that every single member of the community needs to know that they have a role to play with this. You know, as a parent, you need to be there for your children. I mean, it says charity begins at home. So you have to do the foundational work, you know, like Louisa said earlier. It's so easy for a child when they see, they say more is caught than taught, you know. So when they see, it's so easy for them to emulate what they see and practice it, as opposed to when you just say to them, do as I say, don't do as I do, you know. The other day I was speaking to a young lady who said to me, you know, it's so interesting that most of the things, most of the Christian values that I have learned from my parents more than what I learned from going to church, because my parents are good examples to me and I've grown in my Christian faith based on what I've seen with them. And I was so shocked because a lot of people take children to church and just throw them at the junior church and say, well, you know what, you just teach this child, or maybe to the mosque or whatever your faith is, or even to schools, you know. But when that child mentioned this the other day, I thought to myself, oh, wow, this is why it's so key that parents need to be extremely careful what they do. Because I tell you, if this young lady didn't have the right lessons from the parents, it meant that whatever they taught at church wouldn't make a difference, because she's going to come back home and compare it and think, you know what, give me this. That's not what I'm seeing at home, even though my parents go to that place, you know. So really, truly, we need to understand that we have a significant role to play as parents in the life of these children. And we need to ensure that the right things, you know, the right seed is sown into them in place of civility, of people, of compassion, you know, of appreciation of people, of even, you know, even if it's just giving compliments, you know, and sharing love and being there for other people and sticking out for other people and speaking out for other people. These things are so, so important. So if we can start by ensuring and knowing that we have a role as each individual, not just the teachers doing the work, but when the teachers do what can do out there to support the child and let the child know that, yes, what Mrs. A said to you at school is so true, you know, and this is why. Sometimes children listen from their parents, they probably get it from the teacher, and then sometimes they only even get it from somebody they don't know at all. Because they're thinking for this person to say exactly the same thing my mommy said, and some other person said exactly the same thing, there must be some true value in it. So this is why it's so important that we have the same message, that we all carry at all times. And if we all can carry that message of civility, I tell you, the world will be a better place to live in, and the children would turn out much better than what we're seeing today.
Thank you so much. And I want to say welcome to Dr. Anna. Yay! So good to have you in the house. Welcome for being here, my sister and friend. It's so good to have you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us and for all of your contributions. I have seen that. Yes, speak for those who have no voice. Thank you. It definitely begins at home, Dr. Anna. Great. Coco, thank you so much for your contribution. Guys, it is so much fun. Hello, Billy. Thank you for having you here. My friend from LA, thank you for being here. We are having fun here. Is the Civilized Presence, and you are in the right place. And the topic of today is really nailing why it is so important to foster civility in higher education. And some of us here, I believe that all of us will have a story. It's either a personal story or something you've heard about, things that happens in the schools. So whether it is bullying, and that's a big thing on TV now, everyone is talking about bullying, the different forms of bullying, cyberbullying, one-on-one bullying. And so, Bukky, my next question to you would be, how can we encourage our students to be able to work together? Amidst all this several factors, like, for example, bullying or diversity or, any form of insensitivity in the campus. How can we encourage our children, our students, to be able to work together, even with all of that that's happening? Over to you, Bukky.
Thank you so much, Louisa. It's great that with a lot of our colleagues offer different courses on, respect, on, networking, on even, building confidence in yourself, character building, resilience, and all. But one very important thing I would say as far as the school community is concerned is if the school can build their what we call their motto, some places we have different names for it depending on what part of the world you come from. On a civility mindset where that this is what we believe in as a school, and that is what we're constantly rewarding the children for. When they do that, you are encouraging the children to be more civil by telling the children, what is necessary, what are the necessary character traits of being civil, by encouraging them to be courageous, to be resilient, by rewarding them for being compassionate. The other day, my daughter got an award at school for going out of the way to always support children, who are maybe concerned or snowed down by so much, or they're bothered, or they're just not happy, or something is going on. She would throw herself out and just support them, and she got an award for that. And I think if we continue to reward such things, then people will start to understand that what we're celebrating is not the bad behaviors but the good ones. And so you would see children want, because I remember when they were in primary school, at some point they used to get like yellows, greens, different ones based on your behavior and character. And so if you let them realize that what you're getting rewarded for is a civil behavior, it will be really great. And so for higher institution, if you can get them to have maybe yearly party where they celebrate people who've gone out, over and beyond to support other people, who've gone over and beyond, with manners, with their behavior, to ensure that people settling into school when they've just come in newly, if we start to reward such things, and at the end of the year, maybe have like a get together where these people are given an award and they're celebrated, we make it a party that everybody wants to be there, everybody wants to attend it, they never want to miss it, as opposed to, putting so much energy in the wrong things. Then I think this would be a great thing in the society, where schools are really engaging in celebrating civil behaviors and as opposed to just rewarding children for excellent work done in school, or you've done really well, your maths was A star, but if we can celebrate A star behavior, I think that would be a great thing,
Thank you so much, Bukky, and I really appreciate that comment. It is very important for us to introduce a reward system. And that is so correct. Some schools have the point system, the pride points. I have kids coming back home and talking about pride points. If we're able to give them these great points because they're doing, because of their civil behavior, because they're taking on good manners, I think that's going to encourage the children a lot more. Hello, Isai. Thank you so much for joining us from Canada. Yes, we have every part of the world represented here. And I am so excited. And so, guys, this is the Civilized Presence. A great thing with our session is that it's very interactive. So you can ask a question, okay? Do not buckle up your questions. The expert is in the house, so please leave your question in the box below. We want to be able to work on the questions. If you've had a personal encounter or something that troubles and bothers you, please share it in the comment box below. And we want to talk about that. We want to share with your experience. We want to look for what is the solution, because sometimes the society and the media is always talking about the bad stuff. It's, every year we're talking about bullying. What are we doing to help curb this behavior? And this is why we're introducing the simple steps that you can take on home, and it's going to help us to make the world a better place, to make the school system a better place. So, Bukky, I have another question for you. Something that I know that the young people struggle with is building lasting friendships amongst themselves. And sometimes a lot of them would say, oh, I was sexually abused. Oh, this person bullied me. Oh, this person was rude to me. And I think that all of that stems out from not knowing the right art to network and make friends. Can you talk about that? Is this something that we can do that can help our young people with that? Over to you, Bukky.
Thank you, Louisa. Yes, it's 100% very important. Like you said, networking skill is another very key skill that our children or the youths need, in order to excel in the world out there when they step into the world. And like you said, unfortunately, because we have a lot of negative behavior out there, it's amazing how, because most things are not curbed, and so the children just feel, well, because the society is not trying to help me, or maybe they've helped me with A, but then B is shown up again and done exactly the same thing to me. And, I say to people, it's more important that rather than treating the symptoms, of an issue, we go to the root cause, and treat the root cause of this problem. The society is trying, I give it to them because they're trying to help, to ensure that things are done correctly, but there's a better way to do things. And I will say to you, why settle for good when we can get better? So good, it's good enough that yes, you're trying to put measures in place so that people are no longer being bullied. But it's just like treating a headache, that if you went through to to go to the diagnosis of why the headache has been constant or consistent, then you realize that this person actually needs to be wearing glasses because their eyesight, is not as great as it used to be. And so because there's a decline in the sight, it's constantly cost them a headache, but you're constantly handing them a paracetamol, which is just helping to manage the situation as opposed to solving the problem. And I think that's what our July so sorry, this is what our society has mastered. They've mastered the act of solving the symptoms as opposed to going to the root cause, and I think that's why I'm so happy, that you and I and so many other people out there, embracing civility at this time are doing what we're doing, because our world, as a time as this, to be able to support and give the world what the world needs in order to be able to heal, our society and get the society that we all would love to live in again. So it's so important that to the root cause of the problem, which is trying to ensure that we put the right things in place, so that the ones who are coming behind are not going to repeat the same thing. And so it's the same circle that we have over and over and over again. So in this, as far as networking is concerned, we need to teach these children listening skills. We need to teach them how to be confident. When you step out confidently, when you go into a room, there's a skill to going into a room and making sure that you're remembered, not what you're wearing, not for what you said, but you remember just from stepping into that room. There's something about presence. We want our children to be able to go out there, carry that aura that sets them apart from the rest, so much so that they're seeking to want to find out what is different about you, and then because of that, they're able to positively impact the people around them. And I think if you've grown your children or brought them that way, how listen, to other people, so that life is not just about me. City is understanding that you're not the only one on the face of the earth. People are different, and that you may speak a language that is different from mine. In fact, we speak English in the UK, we speak English in the US, and a lot of places all over the world, but we still sound so differently from one another. So being able to understand that there's something called cultural competence, that our children are able to learn from other people's culture, embrace them, understand them for who they are, and treat them as such, as opposed to feeling more superior to them because they think that theirs is the right way and wrong one. So there's a lot of these things happening these days, which is why sometimes children get bullied. I remember my nephew at some point, when he was much younger, relocated from America and came to the UK and was living here. He was bullied because the kind of way he spoke his English was completely different from, the way he was spoken in America. And so those children looked at him and thought, "You're odd." But rather than treat people as odd, if we start to let those children understand that everybody's not going to speak the same way as you do, some people might not really quite understand how to use the cutlery, but you can help them. Some people don't get the culture of your society yet, but you need to let them know that this is how things are done. This is how you celebrate stuff. It's so important, So, and I think that's what networking is all about. Understanding how to mingle with other people, understanding how to present yourself in such a way where, when people see you, they want to relate with you because they've seen something different about you, attracts you to them naturally. So we need to train them on how to, get all these things right, communicate correctly, not just listening, but also communicating correctly, saying the right words, choosing your words correctly and at the right time. Your posture is also very important. You find out that a lot of the young ones, they just fold their hands like that. And they don't understand that what they've just automatically said to whoever is around them is, "Don't just dare come near me." So they need to understand this thing that I once listened to a message that talked about whatever you want to attract to yourself, you've got to respect that thing. Otherwise, and I think that message was by Mike Murdoch, it said, whatever you want to attract to yourself, you need to respect it. So if you don't respect people, there's no way you're going to attract people. There's no way you're going to make friends. So you've got to let your children know that if you want to make friends, you need to learn to respect people. You need to learn to be tolerant, and there's certain things that needs to be learned as well. So there's so much to be learned about networking skills. And I know that a lot of people, even simple eye contacts, they don't know how to make. And unfortunately for some, it's not because they weren't taught of culture, which is why I said understanding where others are coming from. Because the culture where I grew up, you dare not look into the eyes of an elderly person. And so because these children don't understand that at home, but not necessarily the culture where I am, so being able to understand the different cultures with social competency, social intelligence and cultural competency is so key to networking. And so this is something we need to ensure that we put in our children or the youths in order to help them stand out there with other people.
Thank you so much, Bukky. Thank you, Ladonia. Yes, we should make this video viral. Absolutely. Please do us a favor and just share it on your page. We have such great content here every Mondays and Fridays, guys. And so I just want you, we have to be able to change. So please share this on your personal page and just have everyone on your page be part of what we are doing, because we do this, we share this every Mondays and Fridays through having meaningful conversations. But trust me, there are great lessons and nuggets that you can take away and be successful, whether it's in school, in the workplace, at home. There is always something great that we share here every Mondays and Fridays. And thank you so much, Bukky. So guys, if you do have a question, we're almost running to the end of this. Please leave it in the comment box below. I know that we've been doing great. Thank you for hanging on with us. This is a little longer than usual. When we have our weekend sessions, we spend the time to really work on the topic. And so because this is our theme for the month, it was very important for us to deal with every areas and things that are connected to this. Thank you so much, Mirelle, for sharing. Thank you for all of your support. So guys, if you do have a question, if you have young people around you, if you have something that's concerning or something that you think can be an add-on, we're here to learn as well. We're sharing knowledge, but we're also here to learn from you, because we are all very knowledgeable people, and this is a civilized presence. So everyone's perspective, everyone's opinion, everyone's comment is valid. And so we are going to have to exemplify what we have taught you to do right here in the session. So leave your comment in the box below. And thank you for all the hearts. For those of you who have given us the hearts here, please do so. Give us the hearts, give us a thumbs up. If you love the contents that we've been sharing for the past 15 minutes, give us the hearts and the love. And thank you, Morel. Thank you, Dr. Honor. Thank you, Ladonia, for all the hearts and the loves, and more people who are online. Please just give us the hearts and love. And that's just going to encourage us and encourage our guests to come back. She came all the way from London, UK. So we want to make her feel special, that we enjoy and we're learning so much from her. So, Bukky, I'm going to come back to the topic of the day. And I just love how you were able to break things down and how this is so important. And now our main goal for this particular session is really, and that's what I know is a burden on a lot of people's minds, whether it's parents or just members of the community. Some people have people around them who, of course, are struggling with certain things. And Dr. Martha, thank you so much. It's good to have you. Thank you. So I kind of want you to, can you just kind of wrap this up nicely by really pressing on the areas of character, confidence, and communication. That's another thing that you mentioned, and why this is so important. And let us know if you have programs that are available for our young people, for the older ones, in these three areas, because I think that that is very important in making you successful, whether it's in the workplace or wherever that you find yourself. Character, confidence, and communication. So, Bukky, can you just kind of throw some light on that? Over to you, Bukky. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Louisa, and thank you so much, everyone who've been listening. It's wonderful. We can only talk because we know that you're here and you're always here on the show. So thanks a lot for your support, for civility, and thank you for being patient as well. I think that's one step also to getting more civil. Thank you so much. Bless you. Yes, so you did mention about confidence. Confidence is so key to everything we do in life. And I think that's one great thing that ability gives to you. It automatically hands that over to you without you struggling. You become more confident of yourself when you know that you can go out there to treat people right. There's this feeling that you have when you treat people. I don't know if you feel the same way. I mean, I particularly, when I've done something really good, I've been able to help somebody solve their problem or just be there for them, and I can see a smile on their face, it just makes my day, even if I've had a really bad day. So if you can sort of that act of, looking beyond ourselves, you'll be shocked at how much confidence comes through just doing that. Look beyond yourself and stand up for somebody else. Be there for somebody else. Support somebody else. And it's amazing how, even there's a way that, I don't know, people call it universe, call it whatever. I call it God. There's a way that God compensates you, for just doing this, because I believe that's the heart of God. Being there for other people and loving people genuinely, not just because of what you're going to get from them, because you're not even expecting anything in return. So it helps to build, confidence in you because you're courageous enough, not because you don't have your own fears, but because you're able to look beyond your fears and stand up for other people and support them. It also helps you to create some form of resilience, where you know that in spite of whatever is happening around you, you would always stick up and stand tall, So it helps you to be able to, say no, but in a nicer way, as opposed to saying no and not really caring whether how the other person feels, about when you probably turn them down, but saying no in a way where they even understand why you've got to say no, making sure that your integrity counts. Is not just because people are watching, but because that's character. People are not watching, but in spite of whether they're watching you or not, your character, your integrity is so important to you. Also, it also helps with communication because we have verbal, non-verbal communication. So your facial expression, the tone of your voice, sometimes I say to people, people don't get angry because of what you said, but because of the way you said it. So these are things that we need to master. These are things that, as we continue to walk along, civility, it never ends. You learn something every day. And the great thing about civility, it also helps you to open up yourself to learning, because guess what? You're constantly waiting to receive something new. You're constantly waiting to see a different way of doing things and getting a better result. So I think the challenge we have most of the time these days is the fact that people don't know that things can be done in a different way, in a much subtle way, and you're going to get exactly the same result, even better, And then, of course, there's peace at the same time, because that's one major thing that we lack in the world. It's more like there's hardly peace anywhere. There's constantly bombing, there's constantly this, racism, so many things are happening. Verbal abuses, because people just don't care about how people will receive it. So whether you're upset, they don't care. Whether you're happy, they don't care. Once they're happy, then they're good to go. So when we start to become more conscious about people treatment, about how people are receiving the way we treat them, then that way you realize that, guess what? You see, and civility has just become your way of life. So civility is a way of life, and seriously, is not something that you pretend to be, because when you pretend to be civil, people can see, because it's not you, it's authentic. Civility is authentic. We need to be original. There's no point fronting things. There's no point wanting to be who we're not. It's about working on ourselves daily and knowing that we're not perfect. We're working towards perfection, So it's about being there for others. It's about supporting others. It's about constantly giving. It's about, being able to receive as well, because, there's one thing to give, there's another thing to receive. So we need to learn even the act of receiving ourselves, so that when people show us love, we're not suspicious of them and thinking, why is she doing that? Is she trying to get something in return? And then we just block them off. So we need to understand how to receive as well. It's so key. And that way, we'll be living in a better world. So the 3 C's of today's session, confidence can be easily embraced, when we learn to be civil. You automatically become confident. Also, empathy, is something that we can introduce into our daily life, is something we can make part of our character traits. Compassion, be compassionate towards other people. I've heard people before who said they lost a loved one because some other person next to them felt, well, you've only lost the granny. How about somebody who lost the baby? Yours doesn't count. No, it does. No. So show some empathy. You've got to see things from their own lens. So understanding to be able to see things from other people's lens, little things like that just count. Also communication, so these things are so vital. You know what, I can go on and on, Louis. If you gave me the whole of the day, I'm sure I wouldn't stop. When it comes to civility, it's non-stop, and I think I'm just going to preach this message until I go to my grave. It's the best thing ever that anybody can embrace. And I tell you, you would never regret, being civil. You would never regret it. It's something I think everybody needs to, get into as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much, Bukky. Trust me, you nailed it, and all of the points. I loved it. I learned a lot. Guys, treat others the way that you want to be treated, not because you're going to get something back, just because they're human. Human kindness. That's a word that I want you to take back today. Human kindness. It is very important. And this is okay. If you've never done it before, you're not used to this. And this is why we're here in the Civilized Presence. And of course, help is available for you. I want you to know that help is available for you. We have coaching available for you. We have mentoring available for you. We have training available for you. Okay, so if you are struggling with this, if you have people who are struggling, that's fine. You are in the right place. You can always contact me. My email address is louisa@thecivilityacademy.com. So you see, we have so many experts from all over the world. I'm telling you, this is why I just kind of show my experts and my expert friends and professionals and colleagues. I show off with them. They make me so happy. Look at Bukky. Look at all the great knowledge all the way from London, UK. So guys, even if you're in London, UK, or you're in Malaysia, you're wherever you are, we can get help to your doorstep. It doesn't matter where you are. We have experts in Nigeria, in Ghana, everywhere in the world. And that's why we're so widely represented. We have experts in South Africa, in Malaysia, in Australia. Look at that. We're everywhere. In Canada. So thank you so much, guys, for making out time to be here. And we are at the top of the hour, and I really enjoyed this session so much. And if you enjoyed it as much as I did, please just leave a comment in the box below and just kind of show some love to our guest for today, who's Bukky Odusote, all the way from London, UK. So please just show her some love, and just so that she will come back again. We want to have Bukky come back. But if you're not good to Bukky, she might not want to come back. Right, Bukky? Yes. So thank you so much, Dr. Orna. Thank you. I appreciate that. Louisa@thecivilityacademy.com. And send us all of your concerns, all of the questions, or you can leave it right here in the comment box below if you're interested in our mentoring and coaching, one-on-one group coachings, workshops, lunch and learns. We have a lot going on. Mastermind sessions. Yes, we can meet you at the point of your needs. And so whatever that you need for us, the solution is right here. We are everywhere. Change makers, that is one of us. That's Dr. Orner. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you guys, you have nowhere to hide. We're everywhere. So it doesn't matter where you are and you're struggling. You do not need to struggle anymore. Just get in touch. Oh, if you don't even want to send me an email, slide into my inbox and just say, hi, Louisa, I want to have a chat. And if you think that you want to share some great nuggets with us and you want to be a guest on the show, of course, send me an email at louisa@thecivilityacademy.com. I would love to have a chat with you and just see what you're bringing on the show. And we'll be able to place it in the right month. You see, we have different themes all the time. So we will love to have a chat with you. If you have someone you want to suggest to come on our show as a guest, of course, we're excited to have them here. So, guys, finally, before I go, and I have been receiving a lot of messages, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the messages, all the emails that you send to us all the time. That keeps us doing what we're doing. So we have some trainings that are coming up, certification programs, and I know that's been your question. We have one here in Virginia, that's November the 26th. There is one in London, UK. I'm going to be sharing the date with you very soon, as soon as I get that from Bukky. And we have another one from Dubai for those of you who want to have a vacation. Hello, Pastor Rajan, right from South Africa. Look at that. I told you guys, we're everywhere. It's so good to have you in the house. And we have another training in Malaysia. So we have Dr. Martha, who has a training in Houston. So, and that's on Golden Rule Civility. So if you are interested in getting certified, becoming a certified trainer or a statesman, listen, give me an email. Send me an email right away, and I'll put you in the right class. And you know what? There's some discounts. I'm not going to talk about it here. So send me an email. It's Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. So I hate to let you go, but I have to. And we're back here again on Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us. And that's my JMT family from Nigeria. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So, guys, if you're just joining us, as soon as the video ends, you can have access to the replay. And we have to go so that our guests can come back. So thank you and have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye for now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you and thank you and thank you again. Thank you. Bye for now. Thank you so much, Bukky. Thank you.
Louisa.